The matchup for Super Bowl 60, pitting the Seattle Seahawks against the New England Patriots, feels, on the surface, almost alien to a modern football audience. We have become conditioned to expect the familiar, superstar-driven spectacles, the Tom Brady chapters, the Patrick Mahomes eras. When faced with the names Drake May and Sam Darnold leading the charge, a casual observer might dismiss it as lackluster. That perspective, however, misses the profound and compelling narrative depth at the heart of this game. This isn't a contest about established royalty, it's a monumental clash about organizational philosophy, resilience, and the very blueprint for building a champion in today's NFL. It is a testament not to star power, but to systemic power. To understand the New England Patriots' presence here, you must first erase the last half-decade from memory. This is a franchise that occupied the league's basement, a 4-win team just 2 seasons ago. Their journey to this point is the ultimate schematic flip, a total reconstruction from the foundation up. It begins with leadership. Mike Vrabel walking that tunnel isn't just a coach heading to the locker room, it's the embodiment of a culture being installed. The belief his players have in him is palpable and, as evidenced in the AFC Championship, transformative. Facing a blizzard and the league's top defense, this team didn't just survive, it imposed its will. 29 carries in the second half alone is more than a statistic, it's a declaration. It speaks to an identity forged in toughness and a collective buy-in that is incomparable across the league. They protected their young quarterback, Drake May, with inventive, urgent schemes, cut blocks and quick game passes designed to negate ferocious pass rushes. This isn't just coaching, it's custodianship. They have shepherded a second-year quarterback, with a brand-new head coach, through a gauntlet and directly onto the Super Bowl stage. That is a historic organizational achievement. Yet, for all the focus on May's meteoric rise, the Patriots' secret weapon has been their defense, the truly unsung unit of this playoff run. While the world chases the shiny new quarterback narrative, this defense has consistently outshone its more heralded counterparts. They have dismantled game plans and haunted quarterbacks, turning superior attacks into hesitant, error-prone versions of themselves. Their matchup against Seattle is a classic case of strength versus strength. If this New England front can disrupt the rhythm of the Seattle offense, if they can apply the pressure that has defined their postseason, they don't just level the playing field, they tilt it decisively in their favor. This defense is the stabilizer that allows the offensive rebirth to occur, and it might very well be the unit that decides the fate of Super Bowl 60. On the other side, the Seattle Seahawks' path is a masterclass in calculated, almost ruthless, team building. General Manager John Schneider, the architect of the Legion of Boom era, has done it again, but through a completely different playbook. This is a story of daring conviction. It meant moving on from franchise pillars like Russell Wilson and later Geno Smith. It involved the controversial decision to bet on Sam Darnold, a quarterback many, including sharp analysts, had written off as a perennial pumpkin, a talent forever cursed by his early career environments. That bet was a stroke of visionary bravery. In Seattle, Darnold found not just a system, but a sanctuary, a complete ecosystem designed to elevate rather than expose. He inherited a defense that suffocates opponents weakly, a unit that provides the ultimate security blanket. He was given support pieces like Cooper Kupp, another player whose best days were considered far behind him. In Seattle, Kupp rediscovered his role as a brilliant, reliable chain mover, complementing the electric, phenom talent of Jackson Smith-Njigba. This is Schneider's genius, identifying value where others see decline, understanding that a change of scenery isn't just about geography, but about context. Players like defensive end Tank Lawrence, who seemed worn down in Dallas, have found fresh oxygen and Pro Bowl form in the Pacific Northwest. This brings us to the core human drama of this game, the quarterback dichotomy. It is a study in contrasting timelines and redemption arcs. Drake May represents the pure, high-end prospect whose development has been accelerated by a perfect support structure. He is the present and the future, arriving ahead of schedule. Sam Darnold, however, embodies one of the NFL's most powerful truths: situation is everything. At 23, May's age, Darnold was being branded a failure, traded away, and buried on depth charts. His career was a cautionary tale about the perils of poor development. Now, he stands as the ultimate rebuttal. His success in Seattle proves that with the right leadership, a voice like Pete Carroll's successor or the stability Josh McCown provided in Minnesota, and the correct organizational infrastructure, a quarterback's narrative can be rewritten. A win here wouldn't just be a championship, it would be a league-wide paradigm shift, forcing franchises to reconsider how quickly they abandon young talent. The strategic battle is beautifully straightforward. It will be won or lost in the trenches. Can New England's offensive line, using those clever, quick-hit protections, hold up against Seattle's relentless defensive front? Can Seattle's offense establish enough balance to prevent New England's opportunistic defense from teeing off on Darnold? It's a brutish, fundamental matchup that purists will adore. Leadership, however, is the intangible X factor. This is the Mike and Mike Super Bowl. Mike Vrabel's gangster, old-school belief in physicality versus the culture of conviction and rejuvenation built by Mike Macdonald in Seattle. Both men have their teams believing utterly in their identities. 11 years ago, these franchises met in a legendary Super Bowl. Today, only the general manager, John Schneider, remains from that Seahawks sideline. This is entirely new blood. It is the first Super Bowl ever featuring both starting quarterbacks and both head coaches in their first or second years with their teams. That historical footnote tells you everything. This isn't about legacy, it's about creation. Super Bowl 60 is a clash of two brilliant blueprints, a celebration of the NFL's parity and the power of a well-built team over simple star collection. It may not have the household names we're used to, but for anyone who loves the true, complex, gritty art of building a winner, it promises to be an absolute masterpiece.